In the last decade, Morocco has been taking great strides to apply its development strategy in order to improve its economic growth. As European economies struggled as a result of the 2008 world economic crisis, and many North African countries were in turmoil following the so-called Arab Spring of 2011, Morocco started to look more south.
Our key role is to attract capital to the continent and support international investors, financial and economic players by providing them with doing business environment, localized expertise, and a network that's going to support them doing business on the continent and, mitigating the complexities.
How has this benefited Sub-Saharan Africa?
Well, today, CFC brings together a community of 200 companies that operate in 50 countries on the continent. So that's a wide range of the continent, right? And all these companies, like to illustrate, one of our members, Africa 50 Fund, is investing in the international airport at Conakry or power plants in Cameroon or Nigeria. So what's really specific about Casablanca Finance City is that in order to be granted the CFC status, the company needs to operate across the continent, not only in Morocco. If they were to come and do business in Morocco only, they would not be eligible to the CFC status. And I feel that's really distinctive.
Morocco has invested more than 3.7 billion euros in Sub-Saharan Africa, apart from South Africa, and the country is today the largest intra-African investor on the continent. So what makes Morocco such an attractive investment hub?
There is actually real investments in different sectors, in agriculture, in electrical material, in automotive, in infrastructures, in energy, in pharmaceutical also within actually the African continent. And we are also actually a true hub by the sense that we have the biggest port in the continent and in the Mediterranean region, the port of Tangier Med. Two new ports come in soon, the port of Nador, but most importantly actually the great port of Dakhla that have been hailed even by the General Secretary General actually of the United Nations, Mr. Guterres, port of an investment of over $1.5 billion that will serve not just as a door to Africa, but mainly and most importantly as a locomotive for African exports to go to the world.
What more needs to be done to improve ties with Morocco and the rest of the African continent?
Today, the infrastructure is there. I think actually one of the key things to be developed from an economic perspective, it's Pan-African trading companies that will help enhance actually internal trade within Africa, but also connect Africa to the world and to all the markets in the world.
But it's not just about investment. The country is also focusing on education.
We are convinced that our continent can be developed by its own populations, and among this motto we share with our partner countries the knowledge we developed in the different sectors. In education, by hosting multiple students. This year we are hosting in Morocco through the cooperation channel more than 12,000 students from 46 countries in Africa.
Gabriel, hello. You good?
Gabriel is a medical student from Ghana who has benefited from this initiative. He says he enjoys living in Morocco, but was initially wary.
At first it was very tough because as a Christian in an Islamic country, before I even came here, I was having doubts about coming to the country, a Muslim country to be precise. But after some time it was very cool. I found some churches around and I integrated very well.
As well as the religious differences, race has also been an issue of concern. Despite laws condemning racism in the country, the UN says there's still no action plan to fully address the issue.
So some of my friends who live in the smaller cities, they've faced one of these challenges. For instance, one told me getting an apartment as a colored person is always very difficult to come by. So yeah, that's one of the experiences they shared with me.
Despite this, Gabriel is positive about his experience in Morocco. And Ambassador Methgal believes race relations are improving.
Personally, I believe through the education, by educating mindsets, people will change. And I think today, with what this digital social network that we have, with these success stories of African citizens that are living in Morocco and having their own, with this royal police of His Majesty to regularize the African migrants in Morocco, I think we are contributing to limit this, we said, the exceptional situation of racism that could happen.
Morocco not only attracts African students, many from the continent are coming to the North African kingdom for work, like here in Del Omar in Casablanca. Its nickname is Mini Senegal, and it's where Nabuzozo runs her Senegalese restaurants.
There is work here just as long as you're not too demanding or too lazy, otherwise there isn't any. You can even get work with Moroccans, whether it's in the markets or in shops. There is work.
If many Africans like Nabuzozo are looking more towards Morocco, it means countries outside Africa also have their eye on the North African kingdom when it comes to investments. According to the World Bank, the country has made the most progress in attracting foreign investment. From the year 2000 to today, it has dropped from 130th place to 53rd, showing that Morocco is making efforts in becoming a major investment hub in Africa. It's not a surprise that Morocco hasn't spared enough efforts to becoming the gateway to the rest of Africa. And with the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, Morocco hopes that this will help it give it more tools to becoming truly one of the biggest economic players on the continent.